Well, I have a very strong background where arts is concerned. Like I went to the Philippine High School for the Arts, I took a fine arts at UP Cebu. I did not really practice the profession for quite some time. Like I went to work into another field. You know, I was with the hotel industry for 12 years, and that's a full-time job. And that made me somehow stopped the profession, which I really wanted sana to pursue. But after realizing at a particular age, a particular time in my life, realizing that what I really wanted was to really paint and you know, do art. I think the turning point, that particular moment, was a very strong catalyst in many of my works. You know, because I think I reached the age of 35 when I realized that. And so that was also the time when I had a family, and I was really deeply rooted to taking care of my family. That's also the reason why my art now is really close to me, really, really close to me. What I do as a person, as a woman, as a mother, and I think it shows in many of my works. Well, this particular exhibit, of course, is not far from what I've just said, you know, anatomical trajectories, showing my emotions, my feelings towards what I believe in as a person, as a mother, as a woman. And I think it shows in many of my works, if not all of my works. And I think that is what I want to pursue, to continue to pursue that particular track. I have 6 works, and my personal choice, although they are all my favorite, but I think the best or the closest to my heart is the one entitled Way of Knowing. Because I'm like in my mid-40s, and it seems that with the experiences that I have, I feel that I have a very strong sense of knowing things, even if I don't really need to look at facts. I think of course it's intuition, and I think because of the experiences I've had in the past, that really developed that it may be a skill, a talent, a gift, but I think I have that. And I'm confident when I do things, when I decide on things, because I'm rooted to that strong intuition, which I really value. There was a struggle looking at the art scene in Cebu and looking at my many artists in Cebu who I've known for quite a long time. It's really, there was a time that it was very difficult for me to really identify a particular, and be comfortable, you know, with a particular style. But then again, you just have to be true to yourself and not necessarily identifying your particular style. I think it just comes, and you're just comfortable with it. So like I'm comfortable playing around with colors, with texture, and I try to educate and read a lot, as much as I can, and expose myself to as many art endeavors. And I think again it's always it's like work in progress. While I am comfortable with a particular style, I don't also want to limit myself with that particular style. So maybe this is just a phase that I'm into and comfortable with, but again, I'm open to still developing it. Many of the Cebuano artists have been students of the Martino Abellana. And what sets it apart is, until now, many of these artists continue to practice the style of Martino Abellana. But on the other hand, since Cebu is a fast-growing city, many also of the artists in Cebu have ventured into other styles, tried other media, and I think it's a very exciting mix of what's traditional and what's modern, contemporary. And I think that is what sets Cebuano art apart from the other regions. Very strong, rooted on the traditional practices. At the same time, a lot of the artists also evolve and continue to look for what's new, and that makes it really very unique. I see a great potential in many of Cebuano artists, or even regional artists in general, especially this time. Very competitive, very open-minded, at least many of the artists, generally speaking, especially the younger artists. Very competitive, very independent in their thoughts, and I think it's very healthy, especially in this time. Especially also in Cebu, where while you cannot really expect so much support, for example, by the government, by even a very strong art community, I still cannot say that. But then again, it becomes a challenge for many artists that they continue to do what they love to do, despite that. That's also the reason why I see great potential in many of the Cebuano artists, because of that kind of attitude. It has been developed. See, the obstacles that many of us are faced by our environment in Cebu, like what I mentioned earlier, not a very strong support from the art community, for example, very few art spaces, for example. That leads us to I think, be novel enough to think of alternatives, to think of what to do despite these obstacles.